Just to get started, I would love to get a round of applause for all these guys helping out with the sound equipment. There's just being a huge help to all of them. That's all this video. Also, I do not have any visual aids, so you're going to have to do something a little bit scary. You're going to have to use your imagination. Do not panic. It'll be okay. All right. I'm going to start off with a question. How many of you have done a task that feels unimportant or even like a waste of time? Okay, right, show of hands. As expected, mostly all of you have experienced this at least once in your life. Yet, we all seem to push through these times and get those tasks done. Of course, we all complain about it, but we persist and find them to completion. I hear more people talking about something that they did that they thought was stupid over finding a way around said task. Hi, my name is Aiden, and I worked at the Town Hall Art Center for my senior learning experience. And now I know what you're all thinking. What does working at a community theater have to do with the random tasks that I just get assigned and chug on through? But to those of you who may have worked in theater before, I hope that you know at least a little bit of what I'm talking about. I worked in the tech department of my theater, where a main part of our job was to build set pieces. And I just want to emphasize the word building set pieces. We did not design any sort of set pieces. We just got the designs from an outsourced designer in forms of either a 3D model or some sort of a 2D measurements and things like that, and we built them as designed. But because the designers worked mostly on the computer, we couldn't tell exactly what a piece would look like until it was already built, usually with only about 2 weeks until the show started. Now this caused issues because designers take their job very seriously and they see it as an extension of themselves, which is perfectly reasonable. It's a form of art, they're creating something and putting their name on it. But it usually means that once they show up, we have to tweak the design or just outright rebuild the thing that we built. So, more or less, you spend a month building something super cool for a show just to get told to rebuild it in less than a week. This can definitely make the original building process feel pointless. But even still, all these tasks get done. Usually, keeping everyone happy, and most of the time, there's not too bad of a time crunch. Typically still, people will groan about doing these pointless tasks that they've already done instead of finding better way to do said tasks or finding ways to not do said tasks. I would hear the tech department all the time when I was just hanging around the theater on my lunch break complaining about designers and how if they just designed it right the first time, that it wouldn't be an issue. But they've been doing this for years and they've never said, oh, maybe the designer should come in a little bit earlier so we can see before it's too late. Nonetheless, even with all the non-motivating tasks I did during my SLE, it allowed me to realize something. The tasks you do that feel useless, usually to another person, are the most important. That's fine. That's good. The tasks you do that feel useless, usually to another person, are the most important. Just by sitting through those tasks and executing them to completion, no matter how boring they may be, you will be of assistance to someone. Otherwise, nobody would be asking you to do those tasks in the first place. It took me a while on my 4 weeks on SLE to learn this. My SLE started with me painting the border of a stage. I was painting it all one solid gray color for an entire day. Nobody was going to see half of it, and it was meant to just blend into the background. So I complained a lot. And yes, those negative thoughts may have been valid, that it would look fine if it was just wood pieces and things. But seeing it all put together, I was able to justify it to myself that it tied it all together, sure. But even still, I couldn't tell how big of a difference it made until I saw the theater employees' reactions to it. They thought that it was great, they thought that it tied everything together with a nice bow, they thought that it was the most outstanding little thing that they could have ever seen. Which changed my outlook completely. I started less thinking about myself and my time, more thinking about what little details that I had an influence on could make the difference between a good or great theater and what would set the theater I was working at apart from others. It helped me find peace in what I had just spent so much time working on, that I previously thought was pointless. Broadening horizons to see the bigger picture for not just you, but for the final product of whatever you may be working on is the biggest lesson that I learned on my SLE. I ended my SLE with a similar experience of decorating the same border that I painted with fake foliage. And I started out just doing the repetitive tasks of stapling these fake vines and leaves onto the set. But soon after I started thinking how much the other staff members were going to enjoy it, or thinking about how much time I was saving somebody else who was having to rebuild a race car because the designer didn't like it. And I could have easily just groaned about it and complained, but I had the realization that I was there just to help and be of assistance. I wasn't necessarily there to do anything else. I wasn't there to help myself, I wasn't there to help any other staff or even the audience, but just to help this final product that turned out to be the set of the show. Though it was nice to be able to say that I did find that I helped myself and many other people working at the theater. So, next time you find yourself in a spiral of negativity while doing a boring task, think about what it will do for the final product, and think about if it will make not yours, but someone else's life even just a little bit easier. I can't guarantee that all projects will fall into these categories. Some of them might just be a little bit pointless. But for the ones that do, making someone else's life even slightly easier is entirely worth the hours spent completing the project. All you can hope is that you have support behind you that's willing to do the same for you. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope next time you feel unmotivated, you can think back and find someone that you're directly supporting. And if you can support just one person and make their life just slightly easier, that's a job well done. And hopefully, a job done with optimism and a smile on your face. Thank you.